What is going on, guys? Welcome to Barrookie. In today's video, I like to talk about 5 things you can do to make your DIY pull-up bar the best pull-up bar in the world. So we've made a video 5 years ago now about how to make a DIY pull-up bar for in your backyard. Although this is a great video, there are some things that we should do differently if we're making a pull-up bar in our backyard now in 2020. The reason for this change is because now I've been building some pull-up bars here and there, and I've gained some experience, and now I know really what is necessary to make the most awesome pull-up bar in the world. So without further ado, guys, here are the 5 tips. And I like the drawing board in the last video, so let's hit over there. So the first thing I would change are the poles. So they are the fundamental piece to put your bar onto. So you want them to be sturdy, you want them to be strong, and you want them to withstand the elements. I would go with pressure treated wood like this one here. So that's typically the wood you find in the outdoor section, and it looks a little bit greenish. So that is the wood you're looking for. Also, for the size of the wood, 9 by 9 or 12 by 12 centimeters. For your Imperial guys, that would be, I guess, around 3 by 3 or a 4 by 4. For number 2, it's going to be the pull-up bar itself. So the thing that we did right was we used galvanized steel. The thing that we didn't use right is the diameter. So preferably I like a thicker bar to grab, because if you have a thicker bar, it's much more comfortable on the fingers. It's going to be a little bit harder to grip, but overall the feeling will be a lot more satisfactory. If you have a too thin of a bar, it will push really hard on the fingers and it's not going to be as comfortable. So I would say go for a diameter of around 1 inch to 1.5 inch. In centimeters, that is going to be like, or in millimeters, it's going to be 36 to 42 millimeters. So I recently built a pull-up bar, a little small one, just to play around. And I used this bar. It's a little bit on the thick side, that is 42 millimeters, but it feels super comfortable. It's going to be a lot more difficult to grip, but I think this feels so comfy. This is a pull-up bar for yourself, so you better make it tailored to your own preferences. As you saw in the last video, we used buckets to anchor the poles into the ground. Amazing idea. The execution was not perfect. So the idea with the buckets is to have like big anchors into the ground so that the bar doesn't slide out of the ground, or it just stays very sturdy. For the holes, I would say go around 80 centimeters deep. I think that would be enough. So you have your big hole, right? You're going to have your bucket in here with your pole inside. Right? So this is going to be filled up with concrete, and then you can just fill up the rest with dirt. So this is great because it has a big base. Another great option is these big spikes. And these spikes won't have a big base, but they will be anchored deeper into the ground, which is also a nice benefit. So I think it's going to have the same sturdiness, but it's just going to be deeper into the ground. So you also build your, I'm going to put it on the same soil, right? You're going to make your hole a little bit narrower because you don't have to fit the bucket into it. You only need to fit in the pole itself and the pole holder. So this is going to be the spike, and you have your pole right here that goes into it. Voila. But you also have your spike that is like 50 centimeters long. So you have the 80 centimeters plus an extra of 50 centimeters, and that is going to be plenty strong for your pole. So here I would suggest you make a hole that is around 5 centimeters around your pole, and that is going to be enough. and you fill this up almost all the way through with concrete. And the concrete will reinforce this even more. For the holes to attach the bar to the poles, I would suggest you do that afterwards. So you first stick in the poles, make sure they're level. You're going to find a level and then make sure that your holes are on the same height. That's how I did it last time. It's much easier than just putting everything together first and then pulling in the pull-up bar. So that is one thing about the holes. The second thing is you have two options as it comes to your holes. You can make them just right? And that will mean that you're going to have to really hammer in that pull-up bar, but it's going to get super tight. It's not going to move anything, and your pull-up bar is secure. But this one is a lot of work, and you're putting a lot of stress on the poles itself because you're really hammering in there. Another thing you can do is make it just slightly bigger. So you can easily slide the bar through it. It's going to wiggle and it's going to be loose. So what you want to do then is you want to drill a hole through the pole and the bar with a drill bit that's made for iron, and then you're going to screw a big screw in between it, and that's going to secure it. Also, I would go for this one. Make your life easier. It's going to be safer for the pull-up bar and for the poles and for the longevity, I guess. Just know that if you don't have a drill bit that's slightly bigger and you just happen to have a drill bit that's just right, go for that option. For me personally, for the height of the pull-up bar, I'd like to need a little jump to get onto the bar so I can do pull-ups with my legs straight without needing to bend them or anything. And then you have room enough to do your pull-ups. So that means that you have to build your pull-up bar a little bit bigger than you are so that you can feel comfortable. That is it. Make sure your height is good enough. Alright, thank you so much for watching, guys. The first video, it was super awesome. It was a fun build. We had such a blast. But we've got smarter over time, or at least I got smarter over time. And that is why I wanted to share these thoughts with you guys. And I want you to build the best pull-up bar out there. I don't want you to be mad at me because you'll watch the video that's 5 years old and then saying that it wasn't what you expected. So here I'm telling you what to expect, and if you want a great pull-up bar, these are the tips you should look for. If you've made a pull-up bar or if you made a pulley station, hit me up with a DM with a picture of your build. I would love to see that. Also, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe if you like this video. So I guess I'll be seeing you all in the next video, right? Alright, peace!